Alrighty then. Third final.
You just dated yourself. Third and final. No, third and fourth. It is in the. Okay, let's just start.
I should probably leave alrighty out.
I would just keep going.
Alrighty then. Welcome to the third video in the 4-part series here.
If you tuned in for the cash envelope system, you got way more than you bargained for. Okay.
So today we're going to talk about the more detailed part of the envelope system. Last week we talked about just doing your basics, your gas, your food, and your blow money is like a real easy 3 to start out with. We're going to get into the serious meat and potatoes.
Meat and taters. Can you tell we live in the Northwest? Meat and taters.
Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
Burger and fries.
Typical Americans.
Whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so, yes.
So we got some props today.
We do.
This week we're going to continue on with more envelopes, but we're also going to talk about some sync funds. And that's kind of...
What is a sync fund?
We use cash in envelopes and we call them sync funds, and those are for the things for like throughout the year. So like... on top of your gas and your food and stuff like that, we might have something like your Christmas money. So at the beginning of the year, you want to start out your Christmas money and you want to say put $20 a month towards Christmas money. Mm-hmm. So each month you would set aside $20 a month and stick it in that envelope. And then when Christmas comes, you'd have however much money you've put aside. We consider those and call those a sinking fund. So you're sinking a little bit of money each month aside. And at the end of the month or when that time comes, you're like, hey, check it out. I got money. I didn't have to... blow the paycheck on
it.
It
is the best feeling in the world. If you guys have paid for things like this, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. And so what you do, like for Christmas in particular, if it's $500 you want to have, that's a big Christmas. But, you know, you can do whatever you want. If you want $500, you just divide that up by 10 or 11 months that it's going to take until Christmas comes. And so that's how you're assured that you'll have your $500 for Christmas.
So basically, to get to the brass tacks, our envelopes that we carry, just the cash envelopes for day-to-day basis and stuff, is food, gas, blow money.
Oh, yes.
And, well, really that's it. Food, gas, blow money.
It's pretty simple.
And maybe date night money. But the rest of everything we have for cash envelopes, they're all sync funds, because we've done this for several years now, and we sit down at the beginning of the year and we say, hey, what are we going to plan for this year? Is there vacations? Is there pumpkin patches? Is there the state fair you're going to go to, the local fair you're going to go to, date nights, or anything like that? And so we line all that out, and then we start saving.
And I just want to say, yes, that's a good point, is when you do that, if you're stressed about thinking about those items, think over the last year and the things that surprised you or the gotchas that you were like, ugh! I wasn't prepared for that, and it totally hurt. It just...
The first couple years, the example, the first couple years of things we were just like, caught us from behind, we're like, man, didn't even see that coming. But school pictures.
Yes.
And school supplies.
Dance
sports.
Class.
We were like, thought they were out there, but we just didn't really, we thought, oh, that's only like $10-12, right? We don't need it. We could just, fluff that in there somewhere.
Well, when you have a budget.
But you start getting kids that get a little older, and they start needing a $100 scientific calculator, and they start needing this, and they start needing $100 pair of basketball shoes or something. It costs a lot more.
You guys, the teenagers, know what we're talking about. Those are the gotchas. Those are the categories that you want to make an envelope for, okay? So these are totally not fancy at all. That's a good thing. You could pick up a package of envelopes for $1 at the dollar store.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can even, I don't know, you can make your own, or you can get washi tape. Dollar store has washi tape, which is those cute. He's like, what are you talking about? Anyway, it's those cute tapes. You can do, if you have to make it cute.
And the good news is about dollar store, you can get the little envelope, or you can get the larger envelope. You get choices at the dollar store.
There's selection, and some people have found colored envelopes. So, okay, so here is what we do. Should we share our categories then? You ready to share?
We can. I guess they'll go back and forth, but I just got to print it out. I think I've showed you guys this in the past. This is what a blown up version of our budget is. And the way we've got it broken out, and everyone's different. We've set it up this way because it works the best for us this way, and that is the first check of the month, whatever date that is, we pay our mortgage, and then we fill all of our sync fund envelopes. And then the second bill, or the second check of the month, pays like all of the utilities and retirement and all that stuff. So we've got it split up. We don't have any bills the first part of the month other than the mortgage.
Yeah.
So it just makes it real clean, cut, dry. So this list is basically our envelopes. And so these are the things we've sat down and gone over for the year. And all we do is we just add a dollar value to all these. And at the very bottom, it tells me it's going to cost X amount of dollars to do all of these. And then I put my paycheck in there, and that tells us if we made it or if we got to cut back our envelopes to make the paycheck. So say you got, with your mortgage and your envelopes, you're at $1,200, but your check's only $1,000. Then you need to thin out some of your envelopes here to get down to that $1,000.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I hope so.
Yeah, and your mortgage or rent, I just want to say, is not going to be in an envelope.
No, that's just on here because that's how it falls on our payday.
On our budget.
So no, that's not going to be in an envelope. But what I was saying,
gas and groceries are,
is on
it's not a sinking fund. Those are gas, groceries, and our mortgage are regular expenses. Those are things that we budget for as part of our monthly budget, and then we pull that money out. Except our mortgage, it gets paid right away. But we pull our gas and our grocery money out, and we put that in a gas and grocery envelope.
Yeah.
Just to try and clarify, so we're not totally confusing you. The envelopes are what you want to save for the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I was saying is on the dollar values, when you write everything down and you just start guessing on what you think you're going to want in there, that's when you're going to find out to balance your budget and to get to zero at the bottom. But there's some things where you're going to think, oh man, we need $100 a month in there. But when you do the budget and you get down to it and you're like, oh wow, we're $465 over budget.
You gotta adjust.
Maybe I don't need $100 in the coffee category. Maybe I need $20 in the coffee category. So this is going to take some time of fine tuning to get you on budget. So,
but the freedom shall set you free. Literally, when you're like, I have coffee money, like this is the best feeling. So okay, here's our envelopes. Focus.
Other thing I want to say is these are our envelopes that we've done. We've been doing this for 6 years. So we are debt free except for our mortgage. So we have more resources available. So some of you guys that are just now starting out to do this, and you have your gas and you have your food and you have your blow, you might only have Christmas might be your next one, and that's the only one you have, and that is cool. That means you are kicking it and you are doing the system. So don't look at ours and be like, geez, they make a lot of money, or geez, they have a lot. We don't. We have just done this long enough, and we know how much we need in each category per month to do what we need to do throughout the year.
That's right. And those of you who are completely debt free with your mortgage paid off, I can only imagine
That's
your envelopes.
awesome.
We're gonna be there someday, and I bet it's a lot of fun.
Break it down.
So okay, first up we have Christmas.
And we start these. Everything starts January 1.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
Our first paydays.
Brand new year. So on the back of our envelopes, in the little flap, we put how much a month we put in there, so that. He has it all up here, but since I'm not in there, I need it on the back of our envelope so I can keep track, okay?
So you got Christmas.
Christmas.
What's that one?
Kids commissions. So this is the money, this was I got you the first couple years. If you're paying your kids for commissions for chores and work around the house, which is a fabulous idea,
yes,
you need to have it in your budget. Otherwise it's going to blow your budget. The kids will earn money and you'll be like, sorry, I owe you. That doesn't work so well with kids. Okay, clothes money. We put $60 a month into our clothes money.
And clothes is one of those ones that is a fine tuning. That could vary. I mean, because some people could spend $1,000 a month in clothes and it's not enough. Some people could spend $100 and it's more than enough.
We thrift shop and buy Goodwill and secondhand. So for the most part, gifts, $20 a month. Gifts for each other, gifts for birthday presents, parties that we get invited to. Okay, this was a big gotcha from last year. Girls' birthday parties. Tennessee's first birthday party was massive. It was like a small event.
Well, I have to say we had a birthday one in
wonderful.
there, but we just didn't have enough money.
Everybody that we sent an invite to almost could come. So we ended up with a lot of people, which we were blessed. We loved it. We had so much fun. Anyway, it needs to be better. Well, the amount it needs to be upped a little bit. So, kids' birthday party money. Daddy's blow money.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. Vehicle. So what is this?
Vehicle. So this is one of those ones that's going to be a gotcha. That is for anything to do with your vehicles. We put a certain dollar amount aside that covers oil changes, that covers the water pump blew up, the radiator's leaking, tire blew out, you know. Basically we've come up with a dollar value that if we put this money in there for 12 months throughout the year, it's going to cover the general maintenance on the vehicle. That would be tires, that'd be your fluids, that your oil changes, anything like that.
We've always tried to avoid that category, and somehow we can't. It blows our budget.
That way,
every
also,
single time.
because the other thing is when you go to a cash basis and you get rid of your fancy dancy car and you buy your cash car that's maybe not so pretty at the moment, it's going to need some maintenance.
Yeah.
That's how a paid for cash car is going to give you longevity, is if you take care of it, and if you set money aside to take care of it,
Instead of
it'll get you down
having
the road.
those big payments, just to always have that insurance policy, that warranty. So, okay, family night. We love this. We Groupon. We get creative. We do whatever we can. Our church has a once a month babysitting night where they babysit. So we take one of the older girls, out on date night. Sometimes it comes from the family night envelope. So here's another gotcha that we told you guys about: school pictures. It's only $5 a month, but I tell you what, when that comes, spring and fall, we don't stress. House. This is a new one.
That's a new one, and that's just because our house is getting a little older, and there's some things that we've here right about Thanksgiving, the faucet in the kitchen blew up and squirted water everywhere, and we're like, oh wow, we should probably get that fixed. But then I'm like, well, that has to come out of the emergency fund because we don't have a house maintenance fund. So we're going to put a little bit of money aside every month now that just takes care of strictly the house, maintenance on the house.
Yeah. And this may seem like a million envelopes, but I'd rather have a million envelopes than have everything covered than not enough envelopes. We've done it that way. And it is simpler. The more you break this down and be specific, the easier it is for you. It's an extra, dollar amount that you're taking out of the bank, but...
And see, this could be the thing, I mean, this is for us, guys. Remember that. It's strictly for our family and how it works. A lot of people... A lot of these envelopes could just technically fall if it's emergency. Like if the water heater were to blow up or something, you would just call it an emergency, use your emergency when it be done. I don't necessarily want to do that because I know house maintenance, because that's what I do for a living, and I know the little nickel and dime things, they add up really fast, so we just, why not have a little envelope and just call it a day?
And once you've worked so hard for your $1,000 emergency fund, you just don't want to part with it. I want to keep it.
Yeah, because 2 years ago, we got our $1,000 emergency fund up. We had 3 things in the house go off within 48 hours of each other. Boom, $1,000 was gone.
You guys know that, homeowners, homes just...
Anywho.
Yes, that's why we say wait to buy a home till you have your 3 to 6 months fully funded.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so yard. This Mr. Man takes care of our yard maintenance and everything that goes with that. That includes fertilizer, whatever.
Anything I need to make the yard look like a golf course, basically.
He likes his yard to be a golf course, and it's beautiful. I'm not complaining at all. Okay, so this is a pumpkin patch. Every fall, one of my most favorite things, and we have to be able to afford the cider.
Donuts.
Apple cider donuts. They are so good. I'm
donuts.
salivating. How many months till October?
But up in our neck of the woods, the pumpkin patches and stuff, that's like a real shindig.
It is. We get down on the
They go,
farm.
well, it's just it's almost like a state fair. You go there and it's just like they got
There's
rides
rides
and I mean, it's awesome.
Caramel corn and donuts. Oh, the smell. I can smell it right now. Okay, so school supplies. This is something that we have. Most parents have every year. A little bit aside every month. And we actually usually end up with money because since we have
wait
this
for
envelope,
the good sales.
we can start buying in the summer when all of the selection is the largest and the prices are the cheapest. We take it from our envelope. We love it. Okay, so this is a state fair rodeo that we save for. Not state fair, the rodeo. We live in the middle of rodeo country and
big belt buckles and big trucks.
and big hats, and we love it. So, okay, here's another envelope. Sick. Right? We all get sick.
That's a pretty important one. That one covers meds and it covers copays.
Yep. And we go through that. So, okay. Mama's blow money, another uber important. This one we do $50 a week. It is a little bit higher, but I do have 3 girls that
Oh yeah.
it usually gets absorbed in treats for them or something they need for school so I don't have to pull from the school envelope. So, let's see. And then date night, the all-important date night for the boyfriend and I. It's $25 a month. It's not the most money, but since we have our family night, we decided to spend more on our family time together than he and I together. So that's just where we're at. And you can change these amounts. You adjust your budget if you decide to change any of those amounts, but that works for us.
And again, This is strictly just for our family.
Yeah.
You guys out there can make anything you want, any amounts you want.
Right.
I mean, I'm assuming some of you probably look at that and go, those are just frivolous. You don't need all those envelopes.
And
But that works for us, guys. It's
and
what we
hopefully
want for our
gave you
family.
some ideas in the process of categories maybe you hadn't thought about. Maybe we can help you out in that way.
But anyway, so this is, like I said, this is how it shows up. And the good thing is we're working down the road here, and we've been testing with it this last weekend, and getting some of these sheets in like a PDF form and whatnot up on our webpage, so you guys can take a look at them and maybe even print them out and then fill them in for whatever works in your guys' area. And then, you know, it's just one of those resources we're trying to pass down on you guys. So we've been working on that. We're going to make it happen. And so...
yeah, good things to come for sure, you guys. We don't want to leave you hanging. But in the meantime, until we get those budgeting forms up, piece of paper and a pen works just fine, and a calculator. So do not wait for someone to make these forms so easy that you blow off, you know, that you're not intentional for 2
yeah, and just like, you know, the some of you tech nerds can do it on Excel, and if not, just handwrite it. But like that video we shot a couple days ago or whatever, I had the whole year projected out. That's just because I'm a nerd on the computer and I can do stuff like that. And so maybe someday down the road I'll put that on the website and you can see it. But
he's a nerd that's married to a dreamer. So for him to say, okay, by this date, if we don't mess anything up or change things drastically, we can have this. And right now it's our 3 to 6 months emergency fund. So,
and that is my incentive, because when I project out and say, hey honey, this is what we could have, then she sticks to the budget.
Easier. There's still, no one's perfect, you guys. Like, don't set yourself up for perfection, because you will not hit it and you'll be disappointed. But we have fun with your budget and dream together and appreciate and respect how different your spouse is. There's nothing wrong with him and there's nothing wrong with me. It's just finding that middle ground that we can work together. So next week we want to...
Yeah, so go ahead.
We want to address your questions. So leave any questions down below, and anything that maybe we didn't cover, or there was a gray area that you're confused about, let us know and we'd be happy to answer.
And so this year we tried to make this envelope system obviously a 3-parter, so it wasn't just a bunch of blah and then overwhelming. And so hopefully let us know if this worked out better, or if you wanted the just big old thing of it, and we'll go from
I think
there.
this is way more organized.
I think it's more organized.
It took us a little bit longer to get you the information we wanted, but in the long run, it broke it down week by week. And you can add these videos to your favorites and go over them and rewatch them and until it sinks in.
But breaking them down, I think it gave you smaller
goals.
Baby steps and smaller goals to get towards, on, you know, having to sit down and do a budget, and then trying a couple envelopes out, and then moving on to the big sinking funds throughout the year and cash.
Because the last thing we want you to be is overwhelmed, because then you just won't do it. So we want to encourage you and inspire and motivate you. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get to look forward to videos like this every single week, which we're excited. Let us know, now that we're a few weeks into these videos, what do you think? Do you like this new layout? Is it helpful? We've really put a lot of thought into this and a lot of planning. And also, not only your questions, if there's another series that you want us to discuss that we can break into little videos.
I mean, we have in our mind some series is out there, but if there's something that's just burning for you and you're like, man, I really wish they could explain this, let us know.
Let us know. And you can reach us. You can tweet it to us. You can find us on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. We have a large community there, and they're wonderful, full of wonderful people. And then we're on Pinterest and Instagram, and then of course YouTube. So lots of good resources. Every social media platform is a little bit different. So find us in all of those places, like Instagram. I share a lot of our food on Instagram. So anyway, all the links are down below for you guys to check us out. So
leave us a comment, leave us a question. Hope this made sense, and we'll see you for the Q&A next week.
bye.
Later.